5 years ago, I was relishing the triumphant feelings of my first official viral post as it waned. I'd only been blogging for about a month when I told of my encounter with the woman at the wall. Across from the opulence and prestige of the hallowed halls of Harvard, I had passed her on my way down the escalator to catch my train. Struggling to stand, she fell, grasping at the brick wall behind her. Assuming she was just another addict fighting the throes of her inner demons, I had hopped onto the downward moving stairs just as assuredly as I had jumped to my own conclusions about the woman. Now, halfway to the bottom, the spirit all but stopped my forward motion. I stumbled and immediately caught the upward ride as I reached the platform below. I had been wrong. The woman at the wall was disabled and homeless. In a blast of spiritual lightning that sizzled to my core, God illustrated the need for the calling He had placed on my life, to remember those He had never forgotten. So I ministered and worked with the forgotten ones around me, mentoring the homeless, the addict, and alcoholic in Massachusetts. Then God called me to Austin, Texas, where He literally opened prison doors for me to minister to another segment often forgotten by society, and indeed the church, prisoners and ex-cons. Now, while my work with the homeless continued and my ministry with the convicted grew, the cross concern of addiction constantly reared its head. Interestingly enough, I'm a recovering addict who has done time, and at the start of my writing career, I was living in a homeless shelter in Cambridge, Massachusetts. God had called me to return to where I'd been with a message of hope I had been given, and I currently live. So I wrote a book and published online to the tune of millions of words and reaching millions of people across the world in over 70 countries and in over 50 languages. I worked out my faith in the streets, under bridges, in halfway houses, and in my own home. For I housed the homeless and fed the hungry at my table. While meeting the temporal needs of hunger, shelter, and mental health, I spoke Christ into their lives. It was a whole person approach, body, soul, and spirit. And it worked. So while feeding hundreds a week, I was constantly searching for one that I could help. And one turned into 2, turned into 10, until dozens were no longer living in bondage to drugs, alcohol, homelessness, or crime. Without realizing it, I was following Jesus' methodology of relationship evangelism. Meet them where they are in their desperation, develop a relationship with them, and lead them into a relationship with God. Now God has called me on to something more, the Forgotten Ones Crusade, born out of God's calling on my life, and it's coming to your city. The Forgotten Ones Crusade is designed to partner with the local church to reach with the gospel and minister to the forgotten ones of society, the homeless, disenfranchised, and disconnected, the addict and the alcoholic, the prisoner and ex-con, the elderly in nursing homes or homebound, and dispossessed children and teens. And I will continue to write and publish that what we do where we are will echo across the world through the baker and the bread, and into eternity by the salvation of many. I would love to visit your church or group and speak, maybe partner with you, for the newly converted must be discipled and trained up to reach more back from where they came with the message of hope they will proclaim with their lives. Return this email, contact me on the New Baker and the Bread on Facebook, contact me at thebakerandthebread.com, or give me a call, 857-287-4041. I'll be beginning in southern Indiana in November and December, and then I'll be in Georgia, Alabama, and Tennessee next. So let's scour the byways together, that His house may be full. The wedding feast nears completion, and it's about to be served. Thank you.